Hi there. We're glad you could join us today. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Teague of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! All right. Good weekend.
It was
It was a good weekend.
tiring weekend, but a good weekend.
Tiring, but
Tiring,
good.
definitely tiring.
Yeah. We had an opportunity to take a look at how far we have come this past weekend.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we did. I wasn't thinking of it quite in those terms, but okay,
Yes.
I'll go with that.
Well, we often talk about how important it is to know where you're going, to know what the vision is that you have for your future, to have an understanding of what it is that you want, uh, and to be able to focus on what you're going to achieve. We don't often talk about looking back at where you've been and how far you've come. Because if you're constantly looking in the rear view mirror, there's no way for you to be able to make forward progress. You have to be able to look at the direction that you're going in. Every once in a while, though, it's important for you to stop and look and reflect and see how far you've come. Because if you don't, you won't realize how much progress you've made. A lot of times people don't realize how much progress they actually have made towards their goals and towards creating the vision that they created for themselves. So every once in a while, that means you have to stop and look and see, where did I start and where am I now? And be able to take a look and see how much progress you have made and be able to measure what you have achieved. And we did that.
Yeah, we did.
Tell everybody how we did that.
We were at my parents' 60th wedding anniversary celebration this weekend. And of course, when you're talking about 60 years, you're obviously looking back to see where things have gone, and basically got a recap of, well, pretty much my entire life up through about the mid 80s. And yeah, so it was definitely a time of reflecting on, mostly the good times. Don't really talk too much about the bad times. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how the bad times, the memories of those can fade, and what you're left with is the happy times, because that's really what you want to celebrate, and making it through those tough times.
And what did you figure out?
Figured out that should I even say it? Yeah, I was going to go a certain place. Where I was thinking of going, but I'm not going to go there. Found out some interesting things about my family. Found out that considering all of the, I would say, hard times, some of the tough times that we had to go through, that as a family we've done fairly well. Mm-hmm. And I think going through those more difficult times made us stronger. Mm-hmm. And also got to meet a bunch of new relatives that I had never had a chance to meet. So I'm getting a chance to meet the next generation. Yep. The great grandkids for my parents. Mm-hmm. And there was also an opportunity to get together with them, and because we hadn't seen them in a while. I mean, let's face it, COVID kind of stopped everything.
Well, we saw them,
but we saw them. Was it in March or August? I don't remember. It was March. Yeah, so we saw them earlier this year one time. But
it's always saw them last year in August.
Did we see them in August?
Yeah.
Okay. So we get to see them every once in a while. But that's my parents. Uh-huh. As far as my siblings and everybody else. Huh? And yeah, I got to see one of my siblings, but as far as the rest of them, this was a chance to really gather and see where everybody is and how they're doing, mm-hmm. and talk about what everybody's plans are, mm-hmm. and what they're trying to accomplish. So yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, and I was impressed. One of your nephews is looking at moving up to, I want to say, Tennessee.
Yes.
So that's good. One of your other nephews, he was working in law enforcement, got out.
Thank goodness. Because let's
Oh,
face it, that is definitely a thankless job these days.
yeah.
It's beyond thankless,
It
unfortunately.
amazes me.
It's just downright dangerous, unfortunately.
Uh, talk to, trying to think, one of your nieces. She hasn't made as much progress as her cousins have.
No.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, different people go at different speeds.
Yes, they do. But it was kind of cool getting together with them, seeing what they want out of life. Yeah.
And then was also a chance for us to, to go back to, or at least for me, go back to a place where I used to live and realizing that I have massively outgrown that place.
Yeah.
There's no way I could ever go back. But also, because this is an interesting trip for us, looking to a potential future location for us as well. And that's fun, being able to set those goals, to more solidify that plan, and to really look at the next place and determine, is this going to be right and appropriate for us? And is it going to be someplace where we can continue to grow and develop in the environment that we want to be in? And I think we found that the answer to that question is yes. So it gave us an opportunity to reflect on, the past. I always find that my parents set up a big picture display there, and seeing the pictures of all of us at various stages growing up it's always interesting. It's always fun to revisit that and to see how far we've come, how much we've changed. Notice that most of the men in my family have the same hairstyle as me, which is kind of cool. We all match. Thank goodness that's in style these days.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because you're right. Sam actually shaves his head.
Maybe it's gone.
It's
That's
gone.
why I shaved it. Yeah.
He's got a full beard. Your dad doesn't.
No.
Your dad shaved his beard off. Anthony still has a full head of hair.
Yes.
And Jacob has a full head of hair.
Jacob has a full head of hair.
Donnie, not so much.
Donnie, not so much. Yes, the hair loss hit him early, even earlier than me.
Yeah.
And it hit me early enough as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. It had already started by the time I was his age, but his has progressed more rapidly. Yep. But he seems okay with it.
Not much you can do about it.
And again, these days, it's not like, starting to go in the 80s when having a head full of, long hair was still the rage. And then into the 90s when the grunge movement hit and everybody went back to the hippie hair. These days, there's a lot of young guys who shave their heads on purpose. So, yeah, it's adapting to the times. So, what else are you going to do about it? So, all of the alternatives are either extremely expensive and painful, or they're just not realistic.
Right.
No reason to throw a wig on top of your head. I've never quite understood that because it almost never looks good.
No.
So, of course, I guess the reality is there probably are some out there that look really good and you don't detect them, so you don't know. Yeah. But I think most of them you can spot pretty readily.
But yeah, Glenville, Georgia is, and we were in Claxton, the fruitcake capital of the world.
Yes.
Got to spend some time there. Got to see stuff. Been a lot of growth happening. Because when we drove through like Ludowici, that's grown.
Yeah, that's grown
a lot more. And when we were talking with James and Tina, they're telling me how much Hinesville has grown. There's a Dick's Sporting Goods down there.
Oh my God! In Hinesville?
In Hinesville.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
So lots of growth happening.
In
But
those places, but there's not been a whole lot of growth there in either Claxton or Glenville.
and
You had a
so
few things that have changed, but where you had new things added, you've had things that have closed and
Mhm.
gone away. And with those two towns, I doubt they'll ever grow much beyond what they are right now. It's farm territory, so there's just no reason for it. But now I know if we'd have gone to Savannah, Savannah has just exploded.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that we liked, because we were also down in Jacksonville,
Mhm.
and that area is also exploding with
Mhm.
growth. And the area that we're looking at, it's a planned community,
Yeah.
and it is already, you can just see it
Yeah.
popping up like a mushroom. It's crazy how much in just a couple of years it's changed.
And it's near the beach.
And it's not far from the beach.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And actually, when we drove out to the beach, nice areas out there too.
Yeah, Amelia Island is very nice.
Mhm.
And Fernandina. Today I can say it. I have trouble with that one. Fernandina Beach, very nice, very nice. So I'm sure we don't have any viewers from that area yet.
Not yet.
But if anybody is viewing that, give a shout out. We were impressed. We were definitely impressed.
Yep.
It was not. I don't think it was what we expected.
I don't know what I expected. I don't think I set any expectations.
My expectation that it was going to be a giant touristy looking place.
Oh no, I didn't think that at all.
Yeah, no, I did.
No.
I did, and it's not that.
No.
It's very nice.
It reminds me for my friends who go to South Jersey. It reminds me more of Cape May as opposed to Wildwood. You're thinking more along the lines of the Wildwood. I was thinking more along the lines of the Cape May, and that's what it is. Cape May's not touristy and build up at all.
Well, I guess for me, when I think of the beach, I think of Myrtle Beach, and Myrtle Beach is definitely turned into a big touristy place, and not touristy like it was back in the, when I was younger, back in the 70s and the 80s. It was different back then with the pavilion and all of that stuff still there, but you didn't have the rest of it was built out quite like that. And it's become massively built up, and you're getting all of these very touristy things there. And, that's one of the things that people say to us is the place just gets absolutely overrun in the summertime to the point where you can't hardly move. And, so that's what happens when you have a nice place.
Yeah. People want to go there.
People want to go there. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So kind of like, it's like Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
In the off season,
it's beautiful.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
But
you go there right now.
Yeah. And my guess is like 4th of July week, forget it. It's probably these wall to wall people and you can't move at all. So that's the thing. I don't know that Amelia and Fernandina Beach would be like that, because you got other beach options down there. If you're in Jacksonville proper, it's easier to just shoot over to Jacksonville Beach.
Right. And to head south.
Yes. And to head south, because there's plenty of beaches there. And you can also go north, because there's plenty of beaches up there in Georgia too. So got a lot of options. That's the nice thing is, we get one area that gets overrun, you can go someplace else. Yeah. So it was nice, like I said, being able to look back and reflect on, where we've been, more about where I've been, but, still also looking at, where the rest of my family where they're going, where they've been, where they're going, seeing how things are developing and changing. But still, oddly enough, despite the fact that, I don't see them that often because I live up here in Pittsburgh area, we're still a pretty close-knit family. Yeah, it's interesting that we just those connections just bam right there. It's like you never missed a beat. And talking about doing some things together. So especially with my nephews and brother-in-laws, and so they seem to groove on the idea of joining in my wholly unreasonable obsession with obstacle course racing.
Yes.
They were grooving on that idea. So I think that's going to happen.
Well, Anthony's still in decent shape.
He's in very good shape.
So is Jacob.
Yeah.
Donnie doesn't look half bad right now.
Yeah, Donnie's in pretty good shape.
James would need to get in shape.
He's like me, needs a little work.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of guy who would do that. And he's probably better shape than you think, considering what he does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys who's a little bit like me. They're in sneaky good shape.
Mhm.
Because yeah, most people would look at me and go, "Man, you really need some work." But we were talking about medical results, and doctor says I'm fine.
Yeah.
So
No.
always need to lose a little weight, and I'm doing that anyway. So
And I think you guys could come up with a good team for doing like Tough Mudders.
yes,
Um,
yeah, that'd be a great
I
team
don't
for
know
Tough
that.
Mudder.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily you would want to do Spartan, but I think Tough Mudder would be good for you guys.
I'm going to do a Spartan,
Yeah.
so I'm going to do one.
Um,
Might kill my knees, might be the end of my knees, but I'm going to do one. It's going to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. They'll probably join me for that. I know the boys would.
Yeah,
they'd be great at it. We'll see if James seems crazy enough to try it too. So yeah,
once.
Yeah.
Then after that, he's like, "All right, I did it."
Yeah, did it, and that's it. That's the thing. Once you've done it, you've done
Yeah.
it. So
yeah.
But we shall see. So it was, like I said, it was fun to reflect back, and you need to do that every once in a while. Look at how far have I come? How far have things changed?
Yeah.
And then
because you don't realize it when
No.
it's happening, you don't realize
Right.
it until you stop and you intentionally look back and see how far you've come. You'll have no idea, and so it's important to do that. It's important to take a look and see what you have achieved, because oftentimes you feel like you're not making any progress, and the reality is you have. But you won't know unless you look back.
Right. And it's also fun to, do things like I did at the ceremony. They asked me to sing, and that's always fun because I have no problems with it. It's never been a problem for me to get up in front of a group of people and sing. And I did that for this group. And yeah, the compliments I got were, well, off the charts, incredible. So actually one lady, and she scared me a little. She says I need to do more singing because she looked me square in the eye and said, "You have a gift that you must share with the world," which, I've always thought that I was, above adequate, but apparently I just knocked their socks off because I heard it from a lot of people.
So anybody out there who needs a singer for your next event,
give me a holler.
Let them know.
Yeah, so looking for opportunities because, like I said, she told me I have to, and she scared me a little bit. So, so I guess I'm gonna have to find something, some way, some outlet for that.
Yeah, if you need wedding ceremonies, trying to think of what else.
Any kind of events, anything, just let me know. We'll figure something out.
There you go.
And and definitely karaoke. That's where I used to sing all the time when we were in Tallahassee. Every time I sang there, I always got a lot of compliments.
No karaoke around here.
No karaoke around here. So that used to be my real outlet for singing.
Yeah. So if you are in southwestern Pennsylvania and you have thoughts of creating a karaoke evening, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll be there.
We will.
And have a lot of fun.
Yes.
So that's always fun because it's another one of those things like speaking. There's so many people out there, they are scared to death to do it. And I think nothing of it and just jump up and do it. So that's always fun because that's the thing, my parents were saying the reason they did this whole celebration for their 60th wedding anniversary was just to show all of the young people that, hey, you can do this. If you get into a relationship and stay committed to each other, even though it's rare, and getting more rare by the day because so many people just can't seem to commit to things like, I don't know, a marriage. Seems crazy. Biggest commitment you'll ever make. I don't know why you would go into it half-hearted.
No, that's not true.
Not having children is the biggest commitment you'll ever make.
Having children is a much bigger commitment.
Yeah, but a lot of times you don't really make that decision. The decision is just kind of made for you by Mother Nature. But a marriage, that's maybe the biggest decision you'll ever make, that you actually make it and say, I'm going to do this and commit to it. And so many people walk into it thinking, I'm committed to it unless things don't go right or don't go my way, and then I'll get out.
Yep.
And that's a horrible way to think. So they wanted to do it just to prove that it could be done. And then, like I said, I like jumping up there and singing and doing that kind of stuff just to show people that, hey, you can do it too. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, 60 years is a long time.
60 years is an awful long time.
Yeah.
If we make it to 60 years, I'll be really old.
You're already old now.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'll be really, really old.
Yeah.
So, All right. Anything else we need to say?
Don't think so. I think
Okay.
we're good.
All
So reflect back every now
Reflect
and
back. Look at your successes. Celebrate those.
Mhm.
You can also look at the challenging times and go, how did we get through that? And say, hey man, wasn't that awesome that we did that? But reflect back on those successes, celebrate them. You have to do that from time to time, and then look forward to the successes you're going to have in the future,
Exactly.
because you will.
Once you've had time to reflect and see how far you've come, then look back, keep looking forward, see where you need to go, and figure out how you have to get there.
Yeah.
And if you need help with that,
Hey, you can call us.
that's why we're here. We help you grow from where you are to where you want to be. We do that through speaking, coaching, and training. How can they reach us?
They can reach us through our website, teagueofyourown.com.
teagueofyourown.com. Correct.
Through Facebook.
Through Facebook,
Through LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are here. We're on Instagram. We got the YouTube channel going. If they wanted to call us or text us, what would they do?
Oh man! So you're gonna make them make a phone call? Wow!
They could text if they wanted
talk
to.
Talk about low tech.
That's commitment right there.
Oh my gosh! 724. No, I'm thinking about my personal phone number. 412-420-7975.
There you go.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want them to just call me.
Go ahead. All right, Blondie. Yeah. And if you want to email us, you can email us at
info@teagueofyourown.com.
info@teagueofyourown.com.
Yes,
is
teagueofyourown.com. That's right.
Hooray. All right. Well, you sort of kind of passed the test this morning.
Yeah. It was a
getting
long
there.
weekend. I'm tired still. I'm recovering.
Yeah.
That flying down and flying back
7 a.m. flights are
Man,
not for the faint
at the
of heart.
Pittsburgh airport.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's the other reason why we want to move.
Wow. Yes. The security check was insane. So we
And-
don't recommend doing that.
And literally a half hour to go from where we would be moving to through on the other side of security.
Yes. Yeah, that
Less than
included
30
the
minutes.
drive, dropping off the rental car, and getting through security. Yep.
And checking a bag and all that other
Yep.
fun stuff. Yep.
On a Sunday, which is one of the heavy travel days.
Less
Yep.
than 30 minutes.
Less than 30 minutes. Well, less than 30 minutes for you. A little more than 30 minutes for me, but
that's why you spend
still,
the $80 and get
yeah.
free check.
may have to. So still not bad.
No.
Not bad.
No.
And a very nice airport, easy to navigate.
Love that airport.
Yeah.
We would like to know, any of you who are familiar with the Jacksonville airport, let us know why there's no Terminal B. There's A and there's C.
But there's no B.
There's no B. So if you have the story for that, we would be interested in hearing it. Let us know. All right. I guess we are finished for this week.
Okay.
If you need to get a hold of us, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think about all of this. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Everyone.